This is Will Montgomery, former Washington Redskins center.
Yo, what's good, folks? This is Trey Johnson, the headbanger, yo, and you're listening to Mess Hall with Rally Captain and Tailgate Ted. Word.
What's going on, Rally? Did you drink the water when you were out there, man?
I did not. I bought bottled water because I didn't want any blue or silver rubbing off on me any type of way, but due to the result of the game, it happened anyway.
Man, it was tough to watch, man. I can't imagine how it was to be there at a certain point. So my weekend, I got that new iPhone, right? And
okay, that's right. You were telling us about that.
Yeah, trying to get all that taken care of. Mrs. T was getting my other iPhone because her iPhone has no space on it. And we're about to go to Spain. And you're obviously going to take pictures when you're on vacation. Well, she can't take any pictures because her phone's full. So my old phone, had 4 times the size of space her existing one does. So that's why she's getting that. And I got the new one. So honestly, man, during the game, I was just setting up her phone. Man, it was just so rough to sit there and watch and to see. But before we get into the game, did you get to meet Rey Mysterio? How was Bar Libre, man?
No, didn't meet Mysterio. Well, I'll tell you this. So obviously, for those that saw the caption last week prior to the rally, they had some pretty, sketchy, I shouldn't say sketchy, but adult themed type of waitress wear, if you will. And so I get there on Friday, and when I walk in, boom, it hits me. I mean, I was like, oh, wow. And so, but hey, very nice spot. So I talked to the manager. The manager's like, no, we're gonna change our attire up and let us know what you want the ladies to wear. Jeans or shorts or leggings. Or I said leggings are universal. Just wear leggings. And so they toned it down. But when I first walked in, I was like, woo! I said, I got families coming, man. I can't have you. I got you, no problem.
I had it pulled up on my laptop because I'm going back and editing the show. And Mrs. T's like, what are you looking at on your screen right now? I was like, no. This is where Rally's having the rally. He's like, he's having it at a strip club? It's like, no, it's not. It's not a strip club. It's just a bar in Texas that wasn't charging him a ton of money like some of the other places wanted, that has a ton of space. And they wear a little less clothing in Texas because it's hotter there than it is up here. Right. I'm looking outside right now. It's obviously fall. Right.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, sure. I'm guessing you're sad you're missing that rally. How's it going to be in Kansas City? So, I mean, she wasn't grilling me like that, but it was just thinking to myself. So Saturday comes around and, I'm checking social media. I'm like, all right, where's the posts? Where's the videos? What's going on? Because I was honestly curious to see how it was going to be. A, how the turnout was going to be. And B, who was going to be the first person to post a picture, a selfie of them and some of the individuals from Bar Libre.
Yeah, no, it was good, man. They came out with their little t-shirts and I shouldn't say t-shirts, but they're barkeep attire, if you will.
Yeah,
so
someone you'd expect from like a normal rally spot, other than the one you were kind of somewhat forced to go to. But I'm glad that they were accommodating because I mean, I definitely saw some families out there. I saw some people posting pictures. I mean, much like all the rallies that you do, I mean, very well publicly documented. Sound like everyone had a blast. I saw you did a video. How many fans are out there?
Over 500. So yeah, very happy to see that. And I got to tell you, for next week's rally, I think it's going to be more than that because apparently all the hotels are sold out in Kansas City. And I know they aren't Kansas City fans going back to Kansas City to watch them play us. So I do believe that it's Commanders fans taking over the city.
There are a lot of us coming out there, and I cannot wait to be out there. I mean, the junkies were talking about this morning, just about how they're going to crush us. I mean, so my FanDuel account was down to damn near single digits coming up Sunday morning. Let's just say I worked it back up to a lot more than that over this past weekend, and I could have actually done better on my parlay if I would have taken the Chiefs giving the points. The Chiefs were giving 14.5 to the Raiders. Right? I'm thinking they're going to beat the Raiders. They're not going to beat them by 14.5. There's no way that spread's 14.5. That can't be legit. Oh no, they crushed them 31-0. Right. And I should have actually, I would have had a hell of a lot better odds if I would have did that. But man, I was debating between Lambeau and Kansas City. And I chose KC to go on this trip with you. And I'm not gonna lie, Monday is not looking fun right now based upon what we just watched this past weekend.
No, it isn't. But we can't make any excuses. And I always tell people one of the things that I get all the time is I can't believe you spent your money to go see your team take an L. And one of the responses, or the main response that I always come back with is, listen, guys, of course, we want to see our team win. Winning is the icing on the cake, if you will. But sometimes, cake is better without icing. And they say, huh? And I say, the fact is, I've met so many new people. I've had so many new foods, seen so many new things that's why I say sometimes it's better without the icing because of everything else. And people say, oh, that's a different spin on it because the game is just one small aspect. Obviously, we want to see everybody win, but if not, what did you do in the meantime, to offset the game? And so that's why I always try to tell everybody. So Dallas, as they say, owes me nothing because of everything that we did and just all the partying, the food, the people. It was just awesome, man.
Yeah, I
Besides
mean
the game.
that's what I'm looking forward to, right? And not trying to jump ahead to Kansas City, but people ask you, and I know a lot of people that were out there, they bring it up on the radio, like, how are these people paying for this? It's like some people go on cruises, right? I think there was a thing on WTOP, which is the news channel here in DC area, on the radio, saying how they're expecting cruising to blow up in 2026. Even more people going
Hmm.
on cruises, right? People spend their money on vacation different ways. Some people go on
Yeah.
cruises, some people go on like one massive vacation, whatever part of the year. And you and other people that we know go on these trips to follow our team, right? And I am looking forward to going to Kansas City and getting some good barbecue. I know you've organized a meet and greet there that Saturday night. I'm looking at the itinerary right now that you put together for me. And I mean, it's got everything laid out and just it couldn't be easier to figure out what's going on. And I know so many people that are going on the trip with you and a bunch of other people that are going on it separate. And regardless if we win or lose that weekend, a lot of people do it just because they want to knock a bunch of stadiums off their list, right? And KC's one on my
Hmm.
list I haven't had a chance to knock off yet. I mean, I almost think that
Hmm.
people are, I think you kind of somewhat started it for the fan base where you've got your flag, right? And there's only one spot left on your flag. You haven't marked off that list yet. And what, in a couple of years when we go up to Pittsburgh, hopefully you'll get a chance to knock that off and I'll be up there with you. But a lot of people are they're doing the same thing, man.
Yeah.
And I know a lot
Yeah.
of people that do it for baseball teams, right? They go on a
Yeah.
baseball bucket list. I know people that my friends' parents, they go to national parks, right? I mean, to me,
Hmm.
that couldn't be more boring. That is one thing you will never catch me doing, right? But they
Yeah.
go get
Yeah.
stickers and like all these different things from visiting these national parks.
Yeah.
And people want to go see these tours. To the fact, Mayor Bowser was in Dallas for the game because she wanted to tour
I
AT&T
saw that.
Stadium and she wanted to get some, I guess, kind of like inspiration and thoughts on what it should look like back out here in DC.
Well, I tell you what she should have done is come out to SoFi, because realistically, I know this sounds weird, but AT&T Stadium now is starting to be a dinosaur compared to the other stadiums, and it was just built in 2011. So that goes to show you how fast things evolve as far as stadium aspects are concerned. Now, Jerry Jones has done some upgrades to the stadium, which I can appreciate. And when you have a huge stadium like that or a venue like that, you have to continue to stay with the times, if you will, and do these upgrades. One of the things that I always talk about is we all know that the Superdome in New Orleans was built like in the 70s. I want to say 71 or 72 or something like that. And it's a national historic place, so they can't change the outside, but they continually change the inside of the
Yeah.
Superdome to bring it up to date. And so I can't wait till we get our stadium because it's going to put us on the map again, and it's going to just be so much improved as far as all of the newfangled things that are out there in the football or sporting industry, if you will.
I mean, the Superdome was built in 1975, right? And they
75, yeah.
obviously renovate that thing a ton. I think they did a bunch of renovations between 2016 and 2021. But Soldier Field, right? That thing has been around since
Mm-hmm.
1924, right? And I remember,
Wow, I didn't know that long.
yeah, opened October 9th, 1924, right? And I remember going there on a Thursday night years ago with you
Mm-hmm.
and thinking to myself, this thing is so much nicer than FedEx Field, right? They've got so many, I mean, little tiny things. I remember texting the team when we were at that game of, let us know when a TV timeout is coming up. Let us know how much time is left on a TV timeout. That's because you and I were at Soldier Field, and that's something that they do there. And guess what? They do it at Northwest Stadium now. I'm not saying they do it because we reached out to them, but the fact of the matter is they weren't doing it before, and this is something that other NFL stadiums have, right?
Yeah.
You got to keep up with the Joneses. And I think of Lambeau Field. I'm trying to think of when Lambeau uh, actually was constructed. But some of these places, Lambeau 1957, right? They're not changing that thing. They're building up, right? They are renovating it with everything they can. But I mean, you've been there. I mean, to me, the
Yeah,
nicest stadium. Sure.
Lambeau started with one level, and
Yeah.
they built two extra levels on top of that first level. So, yeah, you got to give it the times.
You definitely do. And to me, the nicest stadium I've been to is Allegiant, right? Out in Vegas. And that's probably just
Mm,
because, I haven't had a chance to go to SoFi, but Allegiant and SoFi came out at the same time, right? So those two are the newest NFL stadiums that have been built. And that Allegiant Stadium, I mean, obviously it's Vegas, so they're going to go all out for everything they do. I mean, the fact that I think it was Tiesto was performing at a nightclub after the game on the field level, like just for a bunch of the people that were still out there. And, it's crazy. So I am curious to see what's going to happen because they're talking about some of the construction to mimic on the exterior, some of the buildings in DC. Like, is this thing going to look like a Smithsonian? Because that to me is going to be kind of weird. I have no
mm.
idea what they're thinking, but it was cool to hear that she was out there. DPR, DC Department of Recreation, actually did a watch party for the game, right? At a field out here in DC. And they had a big screen
Really?
TV. They had food trucks and like all this other stuff going on. So I thought
Mm.
that was kind of cool, man. And just seeing everyone get together for the game. I mean, did you guys tailgate when you were out there? What'd you have going on?
Yeah, went to a tailgate. Gentleman threw a tailgate, all you can eat, all you can eat, drink type of deal, alcohol included, and it was pretty good. It really was good.
Commanders
So
fan through it, or you guys crashed the
it
Cowboy
was
tailgate?
like a combined Cowboy Commanders slash, get together tailgate, if you will. So, but it
Gotcha.
was nice.
You get a chance to go on the field beforehand?
I did. I did. Yeah. They said, "Hey, we got a fast." I was like, "I greatly take it." You know me. Anytime I can get a pass on the field, I'll get down there and try to rub elbows. But it was a good time. And at the rally, I got to tell you, man, we had a surprise visit from the president, Mark Klaus. I was shocked. I
Nice. I
was
didn't know it
shocked.
was Mark Klaus. So when you texted me off, behind the scenes, you told me it was Mark. I thought it was a different Mark that posted.
Oh
So
yeah.
I was thinking, oh, okay, that's interesting. But no, I'm glad to hear the Mark Klaus post. Those that don't know, he's the team president, and there's obviously a lot going on. He's been busy with everything with the team coming back to RFK and everything else. So that's awesome, man. So he posted, and I'm assuming some other people from the team came with him, or
Well, we had B Mitch and we had Santana and of course JD's Five's mom. Um, his wife, I believe, was there, but I was on stage, and so I really couldn't see her, but I heard she was there, and they were just amazed that everyone that came out.
good thing that some of those ladies are a little more clothed than they were prior. I'm not too sure some people's wives would have been happy about that. But hey, speaking of Jaden's mom, right? I just want to make sure I put this out there. You Washington fans that are calling into these stations or on social media giving Jayden and his mom a hard time because he gave her a thumbs up when he was running in to the locker room after he got hurt in the third quarter, need to seriously look at yourself in the mirror right now and understand and think about what the hell you're complaining about, right? It's absolutely ridiculous to give that man a hard time because he is telling his parent and his agent that he is okay. Right? I could not believe the jackass that called into the Junkies this morning and some of the stuff I'm seeing on social media saying all this trash about our quarterback, just letting his parent know. Like when Luke McCaffrey got knocked out right before the half was over, I'm thinking either he got the wind knocked out of him or he has concussion, right? And he hit his head on the turf because he tried to hurdle somebody and ended up landing on his back and hit his helmet, right? And having met his dad and his mom and family, I can only imagine what they are thinking if they're not at the game and not knowing what's going on. Thank God Jayden is okay. But I don't understand some of those idiots in our fan base that have a problem with that, man. It drives me insane. I don't get it at all. And yes, there's keyboard warriors and this and that, and people say whatever the hell they want to. But for all of you people that are attacking him and attacking his mom because all she wants is his best interest, guys, freaking check yourself big time.
Well, we can best believe that if you ever played even Pee-wee sports and you got hurt on the field, your parents or guardian or whomever it may be is going to come down and check on you to make sure that you're okay. And maybe not as a Pee-wee, but high school, college, you do the exact same thing. You let them know that you're okay. That's what you're supposed to do. And I took it as, hey, look, I'm injured, but I'm not hurt, or vice versa. I'm hurt, but I'm not injured, if you will. So that I could still go on, and that's what that means, And I also saw a tweet that she said that, hey, stop comparing my son to RG3, because he isn't RG3, and you're right, he isn't. Totally different people, two different time frames. The only thing that they have in common is they're an African American black quarterback for the Washington football organization. That's it. There is no comparison.
Yeah, she tweeted out 21 hours, and it's Monday evening that we're recording this. I wish you would stop manifesting RG3 on my son. Words are powerful, and that's all that's talked about with two prayer hand emojis. And it's just, I almost think at times that there are these fake fans that want the team to fail, that want the young man to fail, because they can go back and say, I told you so, or it's the same old Washington team, or right, we never should have did this, did that. I mean, none of these people were acting like this last year when we went on that run. None of these people were doing it. I would love to see some of these people's tweets that were talking about Jayden and his mom now and what they were actually tweeting last year when we were beating Lions. Right. And you talk about how is the brotherhood doing? How are they holding up in a locker room right now when we're 3-4 and Jayden's hurt for the second time this season? Right. To me, how's the fan base doing? Right. To me, I'm kind of embarrassed about some in our fan base right now, about some of our brothers and sisters and how they're acting on social media. And I get it, it's social media, right? It's just, you can't take anything seriously there. But to attack him and attack his mom, saying it's the same thing as RG3's dad telling the coaches what plays to run, that couldn't be farther from the truth. Not even close at all. And I wish those people would really cheer for a different team, right? Because you're obviously not fans of this team trying to spread rumors and say crap like that.
Yeah, she's in the spotlight, but that's just it. That's it. She's not going into the locker room at halftime saying, like you said, what plays to call or what not to do with her son. That's not her MO at all. But she's in the limelight, and she's a public figure, a very well-known public figure, and so everyone wants a piece of her, if you will. So, but just guys, just calm down. And normally when she comes to these events, she doesn't even have security because even though she has that status, she's just like you or me. And but now I think what you guys are going to probably do is you may ruin it in all actuality for her not being want to come out because nobody wants to hear that. And yeah, we know we're going through a bad time as a team right now, but you don't want to be a part of that negativity or whatever have you. You just want to be able to say, hey, I'm coming to see you guys as one as a fan and two as JD's mom. She wants to be amongst the fans, but you guys may stop that, and it would truly be tragic if she stopped coming because of what you guys say on social media. I believe, luckily, she's a lot stronger than that, but at the same time, you're human, and there's only so much you can take.
Yeah. I mean, I remember last year being there with her and up in Philly, having to set that rope aside, and she was just trying to eat some food, and people were coming by trying to take pictures. It felt like we were at a zoo, and people were just watching everything going on, and it's just like, guys, just let him eat. She's gonna come out. She's gonna come to take some pictures here in a little bit, right? It's just I don't ask athletes for autographs when I see them. I've never been in autograph town. I really don't ask guys for pictures because I don't want to bother them when they're out. I understand that, other people are different, but to go on and attack her and her son when literally no one knows his status. No one knows how bad the injury is. Yes, he is jogging to the locker room at that point, but no one really knows. And it just, we'll move on. It just drives me crazy with some of the people in the fan base, man. I understand that there are some people out there that pose as Commanders fans just because they live in the area, they live in the DMV. But would a fan really say and do and act the way some of you guys are acting towards Jayden, towards her, some towards Terry, right? I get some of you guys are pissed off that Terry is out right now and he's hurt and we haven't had him, and you think it's because he held out during training camp, right? I mean, let's be real. Austin Eckler didn't hold out during training camp, and he's done for the season, right? Dorrance Armstrong didn't hold out during training camp, and he got hurt, right? Who just got announced today that's done for the year? Was it? Actually, you know what? Stop hearing from me. Let's see Coach talk about it.
Dan, can you fill us in on any MRI update on Jayden and then on Dorrance Armstrong too?
Yeah, fill you in on both. So I want to start with the bad news. So DA, he's got a significant injury. It's going to knock him out, and so that's hard, when he's really coming on like he has. So I had a chance to visit with him today, and that's a hard one for us. And I'm just bummed for him because I thought he was really starting to make his mark, John, in that way. Jayden had an MRI on his hamstring today. Good news, not significant or long term, but I don't know the status for Monday night just yet. I'll have a better sense as I get closer to it with the extra day and what that looks like. But the good news came back that not a long term thing. But I just can't answer tonight where I'm at with the game, with it being Monday. So I'll have a better feel for you guys when we get to Thursday. So this week, it's pushed back with Monday, so Thursday will be like a Wednesday and on down the week. So I'll give you a better sense for that.
Just guys are obviously dropping like flies right now. Dorrance done. I mean, he was hurt during the week, and then he came in, ended up playing, and then got a completely different injury, right? Debo, right? Debo's got the bad heel. Debo was there during training camp. Debo was there during preseason.
Yeah.
He's just banged up. Right. And it sickens me to see. Exactly. It's a rough game. It's a 53-man roster for a reason, even though only 22 play right out there on any given time on offense and defense. There's a reason why it's a big roster. And it sickens me that our fan base is attacking our players because they're injured or because they are, coming after Noah Brown. You think Noah Brown wants to be hurt? You think he wants to be stuck on IR and not be able to contribute and help his team? Obviously he doesn't, but going after and people yelling at Debo because they missed their parlay because he didn't have more catches last week. I mean, some of it, man, just drives me crazy.
That's what it's come down to. It's come down to just that right there. And I see now why, for instance, we're in LA and he says, I said, "Hey, Debo, can I get a picture?" No, no, Cap, I'm not taking any pictures. It's stuff like that. They don't want their pictures to be used against them. And so I can clearly understand why. I don't like it because I feel you're a public figure. And if somebody wants to take a picture, then so be it. But let me say this, you know what, Ted? And I got to apologize to a young man who asked me to take a picture Sunday, but I was running late for the bus. And I said, man, I really got to catch my bus. So I apologize. I don't know what his name was, but he asked for a picture. And a lot of times I'll try to, hey, come on, let's walk and take a picture really quick. So I apologize for that, but that was only because I was on a tight schedule and I had to catch this bus. Any other time, of course, I'll take a picture. I've signed autographs, whatever you want me to do. But that time, yes, Sunday, I was running late for my bus, so I couldn't do it.
No, I get it, man. When I'm at the tailgate, I get people that ask me, "Can we take a picture?" And I am so busy back there running around. At the end, when I'm done cooking, I'll come out when the guys are kind of cleaning up and doing stuff before I got to clean
Mm-hmm.
up and start putting the grills
Mm-hmm.
away. And if they're still there, I'll take pictures with everybody. But just like I go back to last year, people standing outside the bathroom trying to take a picture with Jaden's mom. I'm like, let the woman use the restroom, right? It's just like
Yeah.
I don't get it, man. And fan is short for fanatical. Okay, I understand that. It's not missed on me, but guys, and hopefully it's not our listeners. Hopefully it's just other people out there that are just that crazy. I remember being because I used to help Larry Michael with I regardless of the name of the show, it was filmed at Gordon Biersch in Tyson's Corner.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I would help Larry with security and do other stuff there. There was a guy that came in that legit had 24 deflated footballs in a backpack that he was trying to get signed by. I want to say it was Cooley or Jason Campbell or someone else. They told him no, he's not going to do that. And if you have 24 footballs, odds are you're selling these things later on for profit or doing something else. You're not having it and putting it in your collection.
Yeah.
So they told him no. The guy stormed out of Gordon Biersch and kicked a hole in one of the cylinder pylons in the mall to the point of it's just a massive hole there. So mall security had to come and arrest him and take him away. Right. It's just
Jeez.
stuff like that where you talk about, them not wanting to be around anymore. Right. Not putting words in Miss Jackson's mouth, but it wouldn't surprise me if some people's families just didn't want to come out and be a part of it. And
Mm-hmm.
I just wish that some on our fan base, yes, it sucks right now, man. We're 3-4, and we got Kansas City on the horizon, and another tough matchup after that, and after that. But just act like we've been there before. Just act like we know how to handle success and handle adversity, and things will fall into place. I don't know what's going to happen this season. I don't know what's going to happen the rest of the season, or let alone Monday. Right? All I know is we're still going to support the team. He's still going to be our
Mm-hmm.
quarterback. None of that's going to change anytime soon, hopefully. And we just
No.
heard from DQ that he's got a bum hammy right now. And I don't know if he should play with a hamstring injury because that to me is something that could get even worse and exacerbated for the rest of the season. But we'll figure out Thursday when coach talks what's actually going to go on. But when you saw
Mm-hmm.
Jayden go down, what did you think?
Well, I can tell you what I didn't think. I didn't think, oh, here goes another RG3. I didn't think that. I
Yeah.
thought, oh, that didn't look too good from my angle. And then you can kind of see how when someone gets hit like that, and then you see them start in one direction and then come back to another direction, it lets you know it's something serious because he went down and he started to kind of collapse a little bit over, but then he winced back up and let you know, no, he's writhing in pain and it didn't look good. So um, I just said, all right, whatever it is, he's done for the day. Just keep him out. And sure enough, they brought Mariota in. I didn't know the extent, and I even text you, hey, what are they saying on TV about it? So
Yeah. And I just, they said, would he have come back in if the score wasn't so bad? And DQ didn't want to allude yes or no. He didn't want to give anyone any false hope. I think he's kind of learned his lesson because he has said for 2 weeks in a row that Terry is looking good. And
mhm.
for the past 2 weeks, Terry hasn't played. So, I mean, we talked about with Rivera, less is more. I think when it comes to these injuries, less is more, DQ, right? Just don't give us that that hope, right? That hope that Jayden might be okay, that hope that Terry might be there for that weekend. And then when he doesn't, everyone's so upset. To me, just let me think he's not going to be there. And then if he is, it's icing on top, right? Let me eat my cake without that icing. Then if he's there, here we go. All right. I'm happy about it. And we have a better shot. I mean, right now, watching this past week, you and I talked about, why are they deferring? Why are they deferring and getting the ball at halftime? And I'm thinking to myself, when it's happening, real time, we got that touchdown, right? And they had 45 seconds left in the half.
Oh.
45 seconds left in the half, man. And we were going to get the ball at halftime, right? It's like, all right, Riley, I almost want to text you. See, that's why you defer. 30 seconds later, not even, right? They freaking drive down the field and score a damn touchdown. And it was
nothing. Like it was nothing.
I mean, it's why I picked Dallas to beat us, because our defense is just bad, right? Dorrance Armstrong, our third defensive end, is done for the year, right? Devonta Jean-Baptiste, Dietrich Weiss. I mean, I can just keep going down the list of all the players we've had hurt. DQ said injuries are not what lost us that game. Injuries aren't why we got our butt whooped. And I understand he has to say that because he's the head coach. You can't blame anything on that. But realistically, you've got guys out there that wouldn't be starting wide receivers for any NFL team. Right? I mean, who is Chris Moore going to play? I mean, who is Robbie Chosen going to play for? There was a reason why he was sitting on his freaking couch, just like you and me, just a little bit ago. And granted, he had a good game. Shocker. He actually had a better game than freaking Jalen Lane and Luke McCaffrey, surprisingly.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. Lane had 46 snaps. Luke had 36. Chosen had 33. But with 33 snaps, he had a hell of a lot more of an impact than the other two guys. So,
agreed. And I was saying, who is this guy? And Chosen, that's who it was.
I was trying to think to myself, because he's number 12, I think. It's like, who's 12, man? It reminds me of years ago when we were playing Seattle in Seattle, and I can't remember what quarterback it was that introduced himself to his offensive lineman for the first time in the locker room. Right?
I remember that.
And I had to pull up a roster to find out who some of these players were. And that's honestly what it feels like right now watching our team, because I don't know who some of these guys are that are out there on the field. Right? I recognized 80 Yankoff because of the horrible play he had the week prior, but you got guys coming in, and it's just injuries are obviously a factor, but who do you blame or what do you blame on defense for letting them drive down the field in 30 seconds?
That's coaching. It's coaching. It's possibly the coaches not communicating with the players on what not to do. But I, you know me, man, I'm Birdie and Gold through and through, bro. It was very difficult to watch, and everybody gets it this game. There's no easy way out. Everyone does. Offense, defense, special teams. I mean, there was a bright spot with Tress Way not pinning them back within the one. I think we got a safety after that. So that was a highlight. So on one aspect, special teams did okay. But if you don't have the offense and the defense to complement the special teams, then it's all for naught. And basically that's where we are right now.
I mean, we talked about complementary football during the last pod, and I mean, all three phases failed this past week, right? It's just the defense from the start. I mean, going through my notebook, all I saw was them picking on Lattimore, right? It's just, I put a tweet out yesterday, a little poll. It's, can we officially call this Lattimore trade a bust at this point? Options were not yet. And the other option was, yes, it was a bad trade. And 92.8% say, yeah, it was a bad trade. And just Lattimore getting abused. I mean,
yeah.
Guess who had the worst PFF grade for the defense?
Who?
Marshawn Lattimore. I mean, a 29.2. All right.
Yeah, it's like Marshawn St. Just is what it seems like, because he's just getting picked on, and I've seen so many memes of his picture on some burnt toast. And
I did see that too.
I tried to give the man the benefit of the doubt and say, nah, man, he didn't play well because of his injury, and he's going to come back totally healthy. And you know what, Tiff, for me, I guess I shouldn't talk bad about any player because, and I'm not going to talk bad about him. I'm just going to say they had a bad performance. So that's a difference between talking bad and what truthfully happened. He had a bad performance. The team overall had a bad performance. I know that I can't get out there and do it. So I'm not going to talk bad about something that I can't do. But we collectively have to do better. We just do. I don't know how you get there. I don't know at this level, at this level, you're a pro. What can they teach you or show you that you're supposed to know? So you just got to do better, man.
They do. And it's just Lattimore being on an island out there against Pickens, against Lamb. At one point, he was on Tolbert. So I'm thinking, oh, okay, finally a receiver he can handle, right? But against Pickens and Lamb, they're tearing him up, right? They're just carving through him like a hot knife through butter. And it's frustrating. And then you got fans that just want to cut him. Just cut him now. Mm-hmm. Just be done with it, right? I'm looking at the depth chart. Do you know who Antonio Hamilton Sr. is?
Maybe you said senior?
Yeah, Antonio Hamilton Sr., number 34 on our team.
No, I don't know him, but that tells me that he has a junior somewhere. So that's what I guess I know.
I know nothing about him either, but that is who is Lattimore's backup on the depth chart.
Well, let me say this, Ted. Let me say this. I think as a coach, and this is just Rally Captain talk. When Bill had his fumble, what did they do? They took him out. So it may be time to put the senior in and see Hamilton Senior and see what he can do. I don't know, but you have to try to do something.
Yeah, something's got to change up. I agree with you 1,000%, right? And this is no knock on Antonio Hamilton Sr., right? He was a unrestricted free agent that we picked up from Atlanta. We signed him in August. We put him on the practice squad. Let's see here. In August, he got elevated from the practice squad, then went back down to the practice squad, then got elevated again. So, right, he is on our team. He's on our roster. Is he better than Lattimore? I have no idea. To me, you cannot just say cut the guy because you got your roster, right? I don't know who else we're going to get to come in. Obviously, they got Chosen and brought him in here. You think it's going to get better if you just drop Lattimore, put some other guy in? I don't think so, right? And Lattimore's not the only guy that's playing poorly, right? He's just on an island. I mean, Mikey had a 53 cover grade. Sanders still did a hell of a lot better last year. And maybe it's because he's playing on the inside, not the outside. B. Mitch was talking about it today where he could use the sideline to help him cover guys. Now he's playing interior, so he's on an island, and guys can go left and right on him versus before they could only go one way, right? Maybe you move Lattimore to safety, right? Maybe put him back there and do something else. But what they're doing right now obviously is not working. And they actually asked Dan Quinn about, has he thought about potentially calling the plays? And this was his response.
Hey, Coach, were there any moments today where you kind of said, I'm going to call plays or I'm going to make a decision on what's next or what we do next? Does that happen?
No, I'm on the headsets on all phases and talking through ideas and discussions, game management, all of it. So I'm pretty talkative all the way throughout. Offensively, when we would go, when we wouldn't on some of the fourth downs, defensively, third downs and some of the ideas to go. But like I said, when performances are like that, you dig in and you find answers, and that's what I intend on doing.
I don't know how they can fix it, right? Short of moving players around or just going balls to the wall, blitzing constantly. And you live by the blitz, you die by the blitz. I don't know. I don't know what else we can do from a defensive perspective because the front four is not getting there. And the back end can't keep up in coverage because we're not getting enough pressure up front. So you got to do something to fix it because right now we're just getting picked apart.
No doubt, man. And I'm not even going to pretend to say that I know. I just hate being in this land of purgatory right now. You know, we can't get out of our own way with the penalties, with the injuries, with the play calling. I mean, I think on every first down we ran the ball or attempted to run the ball, and I said, "Wait a minute, why can't we?" You asked me when did I feel it was going to go downhill? Is when they took their possession and like the third play they went down the field and got a PI called, and I said, okay, we can return and do that exact same thing, but I never saw them throw the ball down the field. At least not the way that Dallas did. Because Dak threw the ball down the field and Lattimore got a PI, which set them up for their first score. And I said, that's what we need. And that's when I was like, no, don't let this be this type of game. And it ended up being that type of game.
Yeah, I mean, we started 6 of 7 games with a punt or a turnover. Right? Just think about that. 6 of 7 starts with either a punt or a turnover. It's insane, right? And the offense looks too predictable. If we're going 13 personnel, meaning 3 tight ends or 2 tight ends, and Trent Scott coming in as another tight end, eligible receiver, we are running the ball. You're not fooling anybody, right? So they're stacking the box against us. Or you got that one receiver out there. Sorry, but John Bates and Zach Ertz and Chris Moore, I feel like a broken record. You're not worried about them busting a play deep. You're not worried about them taking the top off the defense or doing anything. So Bill didn't really have anywhere to go, right? And it was so painful trying to watch our offense get 10 yards and Dallas getting 60
chunks.
I mean, the massive chunk plays. And then once we finally started going somewhere, you talked about the penalties, right? We had 11 for a $118. And okay, that was a BS penalty on Martin for that roughing the passer. I mean, Dak's helmet just fell off his head, right? So, okay, take that away. But I mean, okay, Sam Cosmi coming back. It's 4th and 1 at the 47, and he false starts, right? I mean, just a mental mistake like that right there in a crucial spot where you're going to go for it to try and keep up with them on offense, and you just shoot yourself in the foot. Right. It constantly happened, right? A holding penalty where we were going to start off at the 24-yard line because of one of McCaffrey's returns, and now we're at the 14, right? And just starting behind the 8 ball again. And you're not doing yourself any favors when you play like that. And to not have disciplined football, I think that's what surprises me the most, right? The injuries I get, but to have the players be so undisciplined when it's week 7, that to me, there's no excuse.
Well, when you have a lot of guys that are off due to, I guess, vet preference or vet status, if you will, maybe sometimes it's more difficult for them to be able to do that, to have that cohesiveness that we always talk about. You know, we're switching guys in and out. It's just hard to have that togetherness, especially in an environment like AT&T Stadium, because it was pretty loud.
I wanted to ask you, how loud was it when Cosmi jumped off sides?
Yeah, it was pretty loud, man. It was pretty loud. You know, I think back when we were in LA and it was like 65, 45 Commanders. Yeah, that was a difference. Well, no, Dallas has an advantage, and their fans were loud. Their fans knew the assignment, as they always say, because Dallas right now is they're cheering, which I would be too. I don't care who you put in front of me, whether you're limping in or whether you're at full strength. Our job is to win. They won, and they gave their fans something to cheer about, because last week they took an L from an inferior team. They were not going to allow a limping team to come in and win. They just weren't.
So what do you think the percentage was of them versus us?
I say 70-30
Yeah,
or
they didn't really
65-35.
they didn't show you per se on the broadcast. You could see during McNichols' run where he broke 4 tackles was towards your end zone. The only reason I know that is because I saw the flag right from the side at that point. But they didn't really show any Washington fans at all in the crowd. I mean, we had no real highlights for them to kind of focus on us. And then at one
Yeah.
point, they showed Lattimore on the bench with his helmet off, just screaming, right? Just like in agony, almost as if like someone stabbed him or something. It was painful to see. And for me, when the defense just let them run all the way down right before the half, and we missed up on our chance to double up, thinking, all right, this is done, right? They never gave me a belief that we could hang tight because it was going to be a shootout, right? The over-under was 54 and a half, right? And he got to what, 66? And that's because Dallas let their foot off the gas. It would have got to a hell of a lot worse than that. So it was so frustrating to see. And I think about, and I don't know how much you follow baseball, but the Nationals, Rizzo was the GM for the Nationals, and he got fired because he wouldn't fire Davey, his manager, right? And DQ was a loyal son of a bitch, right? I don't think he's going to do anything to Joe Witt. I don't think it's year 1.5 of them being together, and you got fans that want Joe Witt gone. Joe Witt this, Joe Witt that. And we talked about during the Rivera era. Rivera didn't want to get rid of Del Rio because Del Rio insulated Rivera to a degree, right? You had a scapegoat where you could point if something went wrong. I'm not saying that's what DQ is doing, but realistically, I don't see them making a coaching change at all at this point in the season.
No,
It's way too early.
no. Well, what they're going to say is, okay, we make a coaching change, but we still have the personnel that we have. That hadn't changed. But sometimes I may make a cake with the same ingredients that you have, but your cake just tastes better than mine. So it's something to think about. I'm not saying that you should or shouldn't, but it's something to think about and give some new ideas possibly of what we can do. What are you seeing that's not working to make it work?
I mean, they had talked about moving Joe Witt down to the field instead of being up in the booth. Bring him down there with the DBs and everyone else, because obviously our secondary is getting torched. I mean, they also asked, are there any considerations in changing people and positions? And this was what DQ had to say about it.
And then on the back end of the defense, I know you basically said after the game that all things are on the table as you sort of dig into it. But has there been any consideration to make any personnel changes on the back end or anywhere else on the defense?
Yeah, we'll look, like I said, tonight we're really digging in on some more to find it, Nikki, and see, what changes could be there for us. But before I get into, I want to go through everything and take all the information and then make our decisions from there. So, but I am looking for more consistency, that's for sure.
I mean, to me, DQ's leaving everything on the table. He's not saying he's not going to do it. He's not saying he's going to do it. He's just leaving all options open because of Chicago abused us and Dallas abused us 2 weeks in a row, and who we got next. So if you don't change what's happening, I mean, this defense is on a historic record at this point. So I don't know what to expect going up against the Chiefs, and we'll talk about that later. All I know is right now, the offense can't score because we don't have our weapons and we're injured. And I mean, I was honestly fine with Mariota coming in until he threw that pick 6 to Bland, but Dallas didn't prep for Mariota. We were already down too much for him to really make a difference.
Yeah.
But the offense did seem to look a little bit better with him moving it because he just, at least on the zone reads,
he did some things
decisive.
differently.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely did some things differently. And it showed. And maybe because he's second string, that those are the guys that he plays with all the time. So maybe there is some type of cohesiveness there. I like you said, what's done is done, and I always say you can't continue to cry over the milk. It's spilled. Let it go. It's time to clean it up and buy some more milk. So here we are. We're buying more milk for the Kansas City game.
So who do you think had the best game on offense and the best game on defense from a grade perspective?
So, Ted, when we were going through the whole training camp and Terry holdout, I said that there's going to be someone who is a non-household name that's going to become a household name. Well, I think that the person who solidified that spot is Chosen. He became a household name in the Burgundy and Gold fan base. So I'm looking, and to me, he looked like he had some speed. So I'm surprised that they just didn't give him a go ball and hey, just get it, call some type of PI. Chosen, to me, I felt he had a great game for being someone who was just added to the roster. Defense, I thought I saw Payne around the ball a lot. That's what I thought.
Yeah,
I could be mistaken, but okay, so I got to give it to Payne. Payne is saying, "Hey, man, even though what's going on, I'm not going to let this stop me from doing what I got to do."
Yeah, and I mean, I gave my key player to watch, and it was Duran, right? Needed to get some pressure up the middle, and Duran had the highest grade on defense for the team, 90.8. His run defense was an 84. His pass rush was a 70.9, right? So Duran definitely stepped up. Chosen was a 65.7 according to PFF, right? I mean, he was impactful, right? For me, I loved what I saw out of Jeremy McNichols, right? McNichols on offense, he was a threat. He was picking up blocks. He was a 66.9 pass block grade, right? And I'm looking at Bill's pass block grade. It was a 74.4. So Bill apparently has stepped that up, but seeing McNichols pick up some of those blitzes and then leak out, he was a threat in the backfield and out in the flat, just catching those balls. And we got to do something, man. Maybe seeing a little more of him. And I'm not trying to say recency bias. McNichols has always been that kind of a threat. They've just been trying to feed the hot hand. And maybe you give him some more carries, right? Do something else to get him going. I mean, we did see Chris Rodriguez, and he kind of chugged along for that 1 yard. I mean, his runs are tough, man. It's just, I feel like it's like a car wreck every time he carries that ball and he just runs someone over. But
little bowling ball, yeah,
definitely. But McNichols on offense was the only bright spot I could actually think of. And on top of seeing Sam Cosmi back out there, right? It was great to see Sam because the last time we saw him when he was in Detroit and got, walked off that field and didn't do too well, obviously because of the injury. So it was awesome to see Cosmi back. I mean, I don't want to focus on the negatives. I just try to think of some positive stuff heading into KC this week. And I mean, I don't think people should get rally chains when we get our ass kicked that much. But from you, what's a positive heading out of this past weekend, heading out of what we just saw?
Well, I said it earlier, Chosen. Choose him to get him the ball. Figure out a way to get him the ball because he was a speedster. It looks like he's a speedster at least, or maybe one of the faster guys on the receiving core. The only way that you're going to have that run game opened up is you got to be able to throw the ball down the field. Even if you force it, that's just what I see.
Yeah.
You got to force it. You may not want to, and you may get the ball picked off, but something has to change because I can guarantee you that when Dak threw that ball, like the third play of the game or fourth play of the game, whatever have you, his man wasn't open. He was covered.
Yeah.
And because of the coverage or lack of, we had to foul. But when you foul, you create opportunities for the change the field position. We have to do that. Even if you don't want to, just do it. Because Kansas City is a powerhouse. They are. They once again, They don't care. You play who you're matched up against. They don't care. So go all out.
Yeah, it's a 9.5-point spread, and over-under is 48.5 in that game right now. So I'm surprised that the over-under is that low, considering what it just was this past week. But maybe it's because we don't know who's going to be quarterback. For me, it's two people, right? Two bright spots from this game.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan McGee. I thought when he got out there, you could tell he was out there and he was impactful, right? He only played 33% of the snaps, but the time he's getting, it was 22 snaps on defense. He's making good use of his time. He was the second highest graded PFF player out there. He got a 85.1 on run defense, a 87 overall. And the second guy that really sparked for me that I didn't really know a ton about was Jacob Martin, right? 55, the linebacker that got the BS roughing the passer call. I mean, his pass rush was relentless. There were a couple times when it looked like he was stopped, but his motor just kept going, and he pressured Dak and actually got to him. His pass rush grade was a 78.6, which was the highest out of anyone on the defense. And I want to see more of that. And this is no offense to Von Miller, right? Let's be realistic. Von's a one-year rental, right? These are guys that are going to be here, hopefully, longer than that. And we're getting a chance to see them shine to a degree in obvious situations where things aren't really the best. So those two things are the positive takeaways I can, have from just that butt whooping. And the third is we only play them one more time. I pray to God
Christmas
that they put up a hell of a lot better fight than they did this time, because please don't ruin my Christmas. Y'all ruined this past Sunday, but just please don't ruin my Christmas.
Well, I almost might want to say don't watch then.
Oh, you had some fans saying the season's going to be over by then, so who cares? Still going to watch a game, still going to go to the game.
Still going.
Yeah, you guys might not go. You might not want to watch, but Rally and I are still going to be there. Right?
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm waiting for him to have a Rally Captain Santa costume or something going on for the game. I don't know what the outfit's going to be at that point.
Mm.
You got to have something for the holidays.
I don't need two monikers. Rally Captain is good. I can't do a Santa and a Rally Captain.
All right. Well, we'll figure it out. We got some time, but man, it's kudos to you and everyone else that held it down out there at Bar Libre. And I can't wait to do the same thing with you guys this week coming up in KC.
That's right. It's going to be a wonderful time. And once again, hey, sometimes that cake is better without icing. I want some icing this week, man. I want some icing. I want some too, but at the same time, I'm going to eat cake. I'm going to have you some cake, along with barbecue, along with some potato salad, some baked beans, and all that good stuff. So, hey, I had music playing in the background, which means that we are bringing another episode to a close. Thank you guys for riding with us and listening. Like, subscribe, and share if you can. We greatly appreciate it. This was done. Moving on to KC, brother. That's all you can do. Keep your head up high, folks. Still a long season ahead of us. We'll see you on the flip side. Remember, you rep it hard, but you don't rep it at all. Tailgate Ted, Rally Captain. We're out.